Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Let me actually, I'm gonna scoot you guys, hold on. That way, when I look over at chat and see you, I also am looking at you. There we go. Hello everybody! How are we doing? Everybody doing well. How is the volume for everything? It should be good. I haven't really changed anything. However, as you can tell, I have got my camera working here, which means we can actually show you what I'm doing as I work on these men-at-arms. Now, Chaos Cultist had a brilliant idea after I asked him, hey, how many of these things should I build? To actually look at the book and the box and to see what it said. So I grabbed the book, the Blue Book of Destiny. And it does actually appear that I can build quite a lot of these boys. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I have a plan already, because I do want to give a lot of them their cool shields. So here's one of the first guys that I've built up. He looks lovely. Oh, he's upside down for you. Hold on. Let me go. Nope. There. All right, let's go to puddle her up. No, I just want to transform, and I want to, I think I want to flip it horizontally. Nope, that was wrong. One moment. I never remember which way to flip it, so I want to flip it vertically. There we go. Hello. Hey, and it's actually, okay, that's perfect. That's exactly, it's my fingers correctly. So here is my beautiful Bretonnian men-at-arms that I've already built up. He is delightful. I've left his shield off, as you can see, because I figured it would make him easier to paint. It does just slide on there really nice and easily, and it took me a little while to figure out how to get this damn bird in a bag attached. Hold on, let me see if I can get it. Oh, okay, thank you, smartass. Chaos Cultist just yelled out to me, glue. Well, of course glue is how you do it. But what I meant was, like, the proper angle so that I could put the shield on without Not Kurt Angle! No! No! I mean, he would give the bird a hat. Kurt Angle wears some funny hats sometimes. Anyways, the point is that it took me a little while to figure out where I needed to actually position him so that this bird would look like it was actually on his belt properly, but not actually get disrupted when I put the shield on in the correct position later on. So I worked it out. We've got it going. You can't see I've moved it. Sorry. There you go. It'll be on there real nice and smooth. So we're going to just do that a bazillion times. I love that these guys, unlike the trebuchet peasants. Also, hello to Colin. No problem for not being able to stick around. I hope you enjoy your outing with your mates at the pub. Have a drink for me, I suppose. I don't really drink that much, but you know what? Still have one for me. Havman, hello. Welcome. Supersonic, I am doing quite well today. Thank you for asking. Hello, Ryu Arts. It's good to see you. Volume sounds good. Thank you, guys. Gavin, hello. Nice. All right. So I have greeted everybody who has been active in chat. To those of you who are just lurking, hello to you as well. Hope you're doing well today. I don't remember what I was saying prior to me greeting everybody. It was something about the Bretonnians. It took me a while to figure out how to get... Oh, the thing that I like about them. I remember now. Okay, so in the video where I painted the trebuchet, they all had rats. That was their snack of choice. And or the snack that they were deemed worthy of having. As we, I guess, very lowly peasants. Men-at-arms apparently are a tier above because they seem to have a variety of either burbs or some hairs. So yeah, really good. Oh no, I'm sorry that the YouTube ads are getting so long. I have, unfortunately, no real control over that. Like, not the length of them and everything. Thank you for suffering through it. Ooh, you're working on your Moon Knight costume for Comic-Con later this year. That sounds awesome, Supersonic. Are they at least, like, relevant ads? I hate when I go and I watch something and it's like, why are you showing me this ad for this thing? This channel has nothing to do with that. So I at least hope it's like somewhat topical. Like, are you getting? Hopefully, you're getting ads for like board games or something. Or maybe just lurking. Well, Dawn, thank you so much. No problem. I really enjoy having people just hang out and lurk. Did I already? No, there it is. I was like, did I already cut? I'm gonna zoom. There we go. All right, let's clip out. So I am going to grab. Ooh, do I want to? What bag item do I want to give this guy? What is that? Is that a hand? Oh, it's a glove! I was like looking at it from a weird angle. Here, let me get it to focus. Hold on, please. I know they're tiny pieces, but you can do a camera. There we go. Okay, it was having a conniption. So I was looking at it like this, and I was like, why is that a hand? Or whatever. And then I realized, oh, it probably hangs like that, and it's a glove. It's somebody's, like, glove. That's so rad. I love those stupid little details. Rewards, thank you so much for the $6 donation. You are awesome. The Eternal Crusade, good evening. Ooh, you sprayed up your Deathwing Land Raiders and Terminators? Nice. That is going to be awesome. Can't wait to hear about your progress on those. Oh, that's gonna be really cool. Oh no, Josh, I'm so sorry. That sounds... No! Oh, they have nothing to do with hobby? Ah, that's really sad. I was kind of hoping that, like, you know, they'd be a little bit better about that and actually make them topical to the people who are watching so that maybe you guys click on them more or whatever, because that would seem logical for you wanting to sell ad space, but whatever, it's fine, who cares, it doesn't matter. Yeah, so we're gonna that's the plan today. We're building men-at-arms. We're going to not attach their shields, but sort of pair up them with shields appropriately. So I've actually got 3 other dudes prepped slightly. I've started attaching their heads. So I've got this guy started. I really like his helmet. I thought it went well with this sort of fabric cloth thing. And then he has the sort of leather studded armor, but he's got like a hard helmet. I just kind of like that look. And then this guy, I liked his sort of, I don't know, it almost felt Russian-y to me. This sort of helmet style, but I don't know if that's actually accurate or not. But I thought it looked good there. He's got a great face. He's so... And then one guy I haven't put his head on, but it's another one with the like... Woo-hoo! Yeah, I just flung his head onto the floor. It's fine. Everything's good. I am going to grab one of my lights. Just have it light this table a little better. One momento, folks. I've got so much light coming in from the lines that I need a bit more from this angle. Alright, so let's see. Yeah! I feel like the bench looks better lit. I look a little bit better lit too. Haha! Weird. Huh. I don't know either, man. Oh, they're just stereotyping. They're just like, oh, are you this age and you're watching this thing, so therefore you must be X. Yeah, they're just badly stereotyping. Ah, bummer. Okay. So let's clip out some more pieces. Let's get some of their accessories figured out, because they're fucking great. I really like the shape of the... Oh, actually, I just realized... Okay, so he has gloves on. I mean, I guess I don't... It doesn't really... Doesn't really matter. I've already paired you with a thing. So you're good. You're good. Okay. Let's look at these other guys' outfits, because they actually give me some arm options with some, like, poofy stuff, and then, like, some non-poofy stuff. So, is there, like, I guess the shield arms don't give... you don't see them, so it doesn't fucking matter. Alright, so we've got one shield with a fancy pokey thing at the bottom. Spike, I think they're traditionally called. Hello, Tarantula Hollow. Welcome to the chat. How you doing today, bud? Hopefully quite well. Hopefully your tarantulas are also doing quite well. Ooh, get off there. Alright, we got a bunch of our shields clipped out. What do I want? I don't have anybody who isn't wearing a hat, so using this accessory piece that has a hat on it is probably pointless. I do want to give one dude this axe, because I think it would be cool. I think I might give it to the guy with the Russian-y looking hat to me. Doing some editing, nice. Hello, Alex, welcome. I do really like the old, like the models in the old world. I have been loving what I've been seeing for prints, though, for 3D printers, now that I've dived into that. Which I will have a video about, actually, tomorrow. So if you've been interested a little bit about what I've been doing with the 3D printer, you can find out. Yeah! Random Man Will. We're totally about chill, casual building stream today. Alright, so I've kind of got him paired with... We're going to do that there with... He's going to have the axe. I'm going to give him this rounded corner one because I think it looks neat. And then as far as his actual pike weapon, I think I'm going to give him this one. Or do I want to give him the puffy arm? I think do I want to give him... Which one do I want to give him? I'm going to give him this one. We're going to give him the arm, the kind of fancier arm that has like a glove or something. Oh, I guess it's got wraps on it. I guess it's not fancy at all. Well, whatever. He's getting that arm. That's his arm. Oh, very cool. That's going to be exciting. All right, so we've got him paired. We know this guy goes with this head. And we'll give him this shield. He and his... Maybe they're brothers. They've got the same shields and same helmets. That means this guy will get this shield. And then we'll give... I'm going to give him a bird. I'm going to give him a bird. Let's see. I'm going to give this guy the fancy poofy arm. I think is what we're going to do. We'll give... I like this one a lot. I like the shape of this one. So we'll do that for the guy's brother. Okay, he's got all his stuff. Now he needs his accessory. What do I want to give him? You know what? We'll give him the knife and the hair. There we go. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Let's clean all this stuff up. Oh, I did bring my headphones in for myself to listen to music. What did I do with those? What did I do with it? Apparently I misplaced them. Is this thing like lagging a super lot? I wonder if it's because of the light. Alright, I'll try not to move too wildly, as it seems to freak out a little. I am building... Sir, they are not just simple peasants. They are men at arms. They are a grade above peasants. They get birds to eat, not rats. Look at that cute bird. That cute dead bird that they're going to, I assume, use the feathers of and give them to the bowman. Is that how it works? You probably just can't use any bird's feathers for that, can you? Probably not. Probably not. All right, what do I need? I need a scraping tool, and I need files, which are behind me and in front of me. And I have sanding paper over here. We're good. We're good to go. I don't know how they're going to end up doing, like, beginner boxes. Like, I think it'd be really interesting for them to do a la 40K and actually do, like, a combat patrol style thing, but I don't know what that would end up being like. I do really like the look of them. You're right. I wish they were going to be doing Empire. I don't think they are because they just did all that like super souped up and basically looks like it should be an old world, except they all kind of feel a little too fancy and charactery. And like, it's not, they don't call it Empire. Was it Cities of Sigmar? The Cities of Sigmar line. So I don't think they're bringing Empire back specifically, which is a shame because it'd be great. The problem is though and this is such a stupid excuse because I don't feel like it's just them copping out, but they're not around. Like Franz wouldn't be alive during this period. But I'm like, if that's the case, then why are you giving me these old minis? No, it's fine. Honestly, I don't mind the old minis. They're kind of charming. And they give you plenty of new ones still. And I'm sure they're going to roll out even more. One thing that I'm going to be really interested in when it comes to the old world is, over time, are we going to see Games Workshop end up transitioning back into supporting the old world and then not supporting Age of Sigmar as much? Or are they going to be just two very different products for two very different types of fans, and they'll be equally supported, which I feel like is the least likely thing to happen because they never equally support anything. Just look at fantasy versus 40K for decades. And then, or is it going to be that old world is just going to get no support, they're just going to keep pushing Age of Sigmar, and they're going to just kind of like they'll still produce miniatures and like small amounts of rules and updates for old world players, but it's not going to be the forefront of their product, and they're not going to really like tote it very much. Kind of like how I don't really feel like they do much on support wise for like Horus Heresy, for example. Considering at the US Open that was recently announced, that's going to be for this year, for 2024, Horus Heresy wasn't a thing like at any of the events. It's 40K, Age of Sigmar, Underworlds, Blood Bowl, which I loved seeing. Like, Blood Bowl was my favorite thing to see on there. And then Kill Team. Those are the 5. And then I think some were said to have some, like, Imperial Legionalis. What is the Imperial... What is the, like, the new... I think the new Horus Heresy, like, epic scale. I think they have... Some were supposed to have some, like, support of that, but not like officially, which just seemed weird. Oh, is that what the Russian-y hat is? Okay, cool. It's a Cossacks? Got it. Thank you, Don. I mean, Scotty, I've done, I wouldn't mind doing, like, an Australian or New Zealand Air Force plane from World War II. My thing is like, I prefer tanks. Like, I just prefer building tanks over airplanes. I've done one plane, and I definitely enjoyed it, but it's a level above, I think, where I'm ready to be at, because there's just a little bit more finickiness to the build process and how you should be painting that one. So down the line, possibly, but modernly right now, like in the like immediate future, probably not. Oh damn, I'm sorry work was rough for you this week. Yeah, Josh, you're probably right. It is probably about a more product than anything else, unfortunately. Because the Eternal Crusade, that's exactly sort of my issue with it a little bit as well. Like, I love it. I love that it's back, but I feel a little gypped by them, like, moving it to this more ancient period of time, because it just feels like a way for them to justify not bringing in the armies that we see in Age of Sigmar and having them compete. Like, that is literally the only reason I feel like they put it in this period, when everybody does just like because now they can't do vampire counts. Now they can't do Empire. Now they can't do Lizardmen because they haven't been discovered yet. You know, the Skaven aren't going to be in this version of Old World because they're not around yet. Which is all just very, like... Again, it just... And maybe this was their plan all along. Like, maybe they've been planning on bringing Old World back for, like, ages, and they just did it now that they have very well-established lines for all the other factions that they're not bringing back in Age of Sigmar. But, like, it does feel like just a justification for them to not bring those factions that exist in Age of Sigmar back. Even though, like, they're not even the same... We're not even the same factions anymore. Like, the Dark Elves are not the Dark Elves of old. So, like, it wouldn't... Like, I don't really even think it would have conflicted. They could have just done it, and it would have been fine. And then they just could have made everybody interchangeable. Bring in Malekith. It's fine. Just give him a Lord status in Age of Sigmar, or name him Malarian or whatever the fuck you renamed him to. And be done with it. It'll be cool. What? No, I said rename him Malarian or whatever they named him to. I think it would be funny if they made Malekith Bulgarian. Sorry, excuse me. I like coughed directly at the microphone. That was terrible. And I'm so sorry for your eardrums. My apologies to any headphone user. I will turn my head next time. I was just reading chat as that came on, and I didn't even think about it, so I'm so sorry. I mean, see, that's the thing. I think it would have been much cooler if they just brought Old World back, like, from the start of when it, like well away from the old time, or the end times, or whatever. So that you can have all the characters everybody loved. You can still literally bring back all of these old sculpts and shit. But you can just make it so that you have, like, it's not Games Workshop. You can just put both round and square bases in there. It'd be fine. Like, I don't think that many people would complain. And if they did, who fucking cares? It costs you, like, probably pennies. So just do it. And then you can just choose. You can be like, do I want this to be for Old World, or am I getting this for Age of Sigmar? Who the fuck cares? I'm just buying it. Like, and then I think it would sell. That's just my opinion. I think they just made... I'm just grumpy that I can't have vampire counts, okay? That's my main thing. That's really all it is. I want vampire counts. God damn it. So much. One day I'll go onto, like, eBay and I'll find somebody selling an unpainted version, but... The problem is I want to, like, build it from box scratch, you know? I know that's not, like, possible. I would still, even if it was just on sprue, I would take it, but, like... I really do just want to, like... have the fun of constructing that from beginning to end, you know? Alright. Wow, I did a terrible job cleaning up your feet. Poor men-at-arms, dude. It's fine, I'll just go online and I'll print one. I might make that a video, actually. My desperate desire to have a vampire count army, but unable to do so. I'll just find a find somebody, a creator online who, like, makes some, and I'll just print it. Turn that into a video. That could be fun. That actually could be really fun. Oh, Daniel, I am very glad that you are enjoying the content. And I enjoy the cosplay that I end up doing as well. Thank you so much. Later, Josh. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Hold on, hold on. Will is saying that the Empire is getting a re-release in December. There's an article from Warhammer community website that shows the 9 factions confirmed to be on the old world. Was Empire one of them? I didn't think they were. Because the problem is the Empire, like, the Elector Counts and stuff weren't founded yet. Like, Franz and his father and all of that, they're not around yet. So I thought that was part of the problem. No, the Eternal Crusade, I understand. I understand that. They do have a habit of tanking people's plans. Gosh, I had such, like, speaking of plans around Games Workshop products and releases, I had such a schedule planned for Curse City, and then it, flopped and people were pissed, and I was like, okay, well, I got my hands on one, but now I don't want to do anything with it because everybody hates it. And it was just like... It would be so... It just made me so mad. Nice. That's really cool, Miss Smith. Yeah, I really do want to just, like, print myself a vampire account army. Find a cool Isabella. Cool Vlad. Alright, he's looking good now. Let's clean up his arm. There's, like, banging outside. I apologize if you can hear it. I think... somebody's having something done to their garage behind me, so, like, behind where we live. And I don't know what it is, but holy moly, they're banging. They are making some noise. I just stabbed my finger, ow, on your spiky plastic! Your spiky plastic spear. Rude. How rude. How very, very rude. Oh, just like, yeah, him with his loose head. He's dead. He got stabbed and decapitated. I guess that he didn't get stabbed. He got decapitated. Get off. There we go. Let's get rid of that mold line. So many mold lines. It's okay. The worst thing is that they put it, like, over fingers. So glad that they don't really do that anymore. Like, you might still have a mold line that runs completely along a spear tip or whatever, or, like, the spear's a shaft, but, like, you're not gonna have it go through the fucking hand. They just wanted to make it difficult back then, I think. Yes, clearly. Clearly that was their plan. They looked at it and they were like, ah, these hobbyists, they spend so much time on our miniatures. Let's make them spend even more time. What I think would have been cool, actually, is if they had still given us the exact same like models or whatever, but they did actually just scan them, put them into a new 3D program, reslice them, and print them fresh, which in the same process that they're doing their current ones, so that we didn't have to like do this level of cleanup. You know what I mean? That's what I want. That's what I wish they had done. Don't press too hard on the tip of the spear, Angela, or you'll stab your finger again. Okay, there we go. I didn't do it as hard that time, and I didn't hurt myself. Cool. Clean. One last little bit, and we can glue this boy together. Don't stab yourself on the little knife. Did we not learn our lesson previously? Good lord. Apparently not. Apparently I did not. Hi, Tony. Welcome to the stream. Okay, so Empire is coming back. Interesting. Well, I look forward to seeing what they have. That doesn't include vampire counts. Still doesn't include vampire counts. Or dark elves. Which is a shame. Alright, wow, that's a extreme old line on a bunny. So just trying to give him a nice guiding line to split him open when he eats him as a snack later. I don't know why, but I want to be like in the trenches. I don't think they're really in trenches in this type of warfare, but it's fine. I'm going to one of my International Plastic Modeler Society clubs tonight, so I think I have like historical wars on my mind. So I'm thinking, I don't know why I'm in World War I, but I am. Okay, he's looking good. I'm gonna set these guys over here because I want to build one. I want to do it, and you can't stop me. Nice. I've never tried casting any molds. Robert, what is a shame? You got to give me more context than such is a sure is a shame. What is surely a shame? What are they doing? Like, there's a big van out there I saw when I drove past this morning. They are banging up a storm, though. Alright, let's see. How will your arm connect? Like that? Did I not shave the backside of this? Apparently not well enough. There we go. That's a little bit better. Hello, Alzako. Hopefully I said that correctly, and if I didn't, I apologize. I'm terrible with pronunciations. I don't think you'd be chastised for some cannabis tattoos on your orcs. Whatever. I don't think it'd be that big of a deal. Most people are probably not even going to notice them anyways. They're going to be so small, you know? Yeah, it is a little bit... It's weird the way that Games Workshop is handling it. Like I said, this time period thing really just feels like an excuse to not have to deal with the factions, or at least not have to deal with them immediately, that are represented already in Age of Sigmar, and not compete against that. Is that, like... How upright are your spears supposed to be? so I think it's gonna go like that. So let's go ahead and get some glue in there. And then a little bit of glue on here. Okay. Super stinky stuff. Ah, I see. Yes, that to complete. I understand what you mean now. Yeah, no, it is really a shame. That is indeed. Ow, 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 ow. There we go. I'm stabbing myself on that spike. Let's not have it too much, that much into your face, bud. There we go. That's better. They have such like bulky elbows. Alright, let me get a little bit more glue in there. Now that I have it a little bit more at the angle that I want it, and I'm just gonna hold it in place. That I don't doubt will. Like I do wonder if they will eventually, like as the time period goes on, be like, and now the Elector Counts have been founded, and like the Empire will be the last one they release of their initial, right? And they're like, because the Elector Counts have just been founded, or like they'll do an update, and that's how they'll end up bringing in like Franz or something in the future. And I could see that being the same thing with like the vampire accounts of they're like, and suddenly the curse has risen from, I think Nefertari, I think she was like actually the origin, so maybe they'll end up having something go down narratively with the Tomb Kings, which will then lead into the rise of the vampire accounts, and Isabella and Vlad will come back or something, who knows. Like, I could see that maybe down the line, but I don't know, I'm worried it's gonna take them too long to get there. But who knows? Who actually knows? As far as Renegade Boy, what do you mean by competing against AOS? Do you mean like earlier when I was talking about how I think I need a little bit of clarification, because I know we were talking about comparing AOS to Old World previously, and I was talking about how they were not wanting, they basically have chosen the factions that are currently very active in Age of Sigmar that have a lot of support, and they've picked them to not bring back into the Old World so that they don't compete. Like, maybe, is that what you're asking about? I unfortunately have no ideas about how to scan in miniatures, unfortunately, Don, but maybe somebody in chat will. Alex, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. 40K does have the World War I vibe, so that could be it. But this is Old World, though. This is not like, this is like ancient. He's got a fucking pike weapon. You know, we're not in World War I trenches with these guys. How did I miss that? How did I miss all of those? Okay. Don't shift it too much, Angela. You're gonna just have to reglue. You're gonna just fucking take it off. You're gonna have to reglue it anyways. I can't believe I missed all of those mold lines. What was I thinking? It's because I was focused really a lot on the hand. Alright, there we go. Let's go ahead and get a little bit more glue back in. Oh, well, no problem. You know, I haven't looked at it in a while. I don't know or remember which rules for which characters it came with. But yes, I do have it. But I literally picked it up because I was actually working at a game store when that one first came out. So as soon as my store got our copies in, I went and grabbed my copy because I had reserved it. Or like pre-ordered it or whatever. But then I didn't really do much with it because I read the rules and I wasn't super thrilled with the actual mechanics of the game for Cursed City, which was really disappointing. Like, if I have to say, like, my main complaint about that game is not even the flop of it when it came to its release and then its re-release and the seeming weird, I kind of feel like all the Gravelord Blight, or the Blight Lord... Soul Blight Gravelords, gosh darn it. Their name is so convoluted. The Soul Blight Gravelords, I feel like all look like they should have been expansions for Cursed City. Like, I don't know what happened there. I don't know what's going on with that. But it was just very disappointing. It was just very disappointing because I really liked Blackstone Fortress. And I really just kind of wanted like a fantasy version of Blackstone Fortress in a medieval town because filled with vampires, because like that is literally my jam. I was in a Curse of Strahd campaign at the time, like before it had come out, and so like this was going to sort of satisfy not being able to do that anymore because like COVID happened, etc. And so that game had ended and it was like going to fill that in, and then it just flopped like a wet fish and it was so disappointing. No, where is MegaCon? I don't think I've heard of that one. I am not super big in the con scene except for like super local ones. I will be going to DunderCon next weekend. Is it next weekend? The weekend after that? I can't remember. It's like in 1 or 2 weeks, I think. But I'll be there. I mean, I would recommend looking at my trebuchet painting video. I painted up a lot of peasants in a lot of more drab color tones. Like, it was a lot of browns and yellows and some, like, softer greens. And I did them entirely in Slap Chop and then just use contrast paint over them. So my suggestion, Ross, would be maybe grab Snakebite Leather is just like if you want a really good like medium brown leather tone, like a very classic leather tone look, Snakebite is a very good choice for that. Dark Oath Flesh is another one. It's got a little bit of a darker, a slightly more red tint to it, and I find it comes in a little bit more muted, so you can layer it a bit better if you want to darken it, or you can have it be a little bit more transparent and let your Slap Chop shine through a bit more. So it's really kind of dependent on like what kind of brown color tones you're wanting. As for like other more softer like yellows and everything, I would say Nazdreg yellow is a really good one because that can lean into some browns. So it'll give you a punch of yellow, but still keeping to your drab brown tones. Yondon Yellow is a really good one for just like if you want something that's a little bit brighter but a little bit more true yellow. It can lean a little orange sometimes, like a little almost mac and cheese, if you will. So do be careful if you go too heavy with it. But it is a really nice color tone. I like Ironjaw's yellow a lot as well. But really, Yondon and Ironjaw's are very similar. It's just like there's a slight... One has a little bit more brown in it, one has a little bit more orange in it. So that's the thing with that. There's a couple of good greens, like Plague Bearer's Flesh is a good yellow green, so it would still lean into that color tone, but would give you a little bit of a hint of a different tone in there. So hopefully that helps. I've never used pro acrylic paints. I don't know anybody that sells them. I do plan on picking up the new Army Painter colors, and I don't know if I'm going to be doing like an official like review of them, but I will definitely be using them and probably talking about my feelings on them, both on a video and probably in streams. So you'll definitely be seeing me use them because I'm very intrigued. I plan on, my hope is to grab the mega set because I want to see what the stand is like, and also I could use another stand because I just rearranged the space a little bit and I still need more paint storage spaces. And while I do need to get some more to go like up on my actual wall, because I think that's the best place right now where I can put some, I do have a little bit of room and stuff still to put some shelved ones. So that's probably what I'm going to do. Awesome. I'm glad to hear it, Ross. That is good to hear. All right. His arm's probably dried now. Yeah, it looks pretty decent. All right. How does your arm connect to your body? What angle does your shield be at? All right, so you're gonna have it like directly in front of you, I see. All right, well, that's good. You do not have a little thing to attach your knife and bunny to. Therefore, we're just gonna stick it straight on there. I really don't like the way that looks. Can I make that the backside? I think I can. Oh, you can still see it from that angle, though. Gosh, why did you have to put the sprue right there, Games Workshop? Alright. Also, why did you have to put the mold light on the blade's edge and make it look kind of weird? How inconsiderate. Listen to me just ragging on Games Workshop today. Don't even know why. Don't even know why. I think they're just silly. Oh, I still never found headphones, did I? I don't know what I did with them. Oh well, whatever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, we're like almost an hour into this thing. I don't need music. Boop. Alright, that looks a little bit better. Ooh, okay. I think I could put it, like, would it be appropriate for him to have it going? No, it's meant to be like this, isn't it? I'm going to say probably yes. Whoa, gosh. Okay, little bunny, you're tiny and wiggly in my hand. Stop it. I see. It's actually meant to go like that. Alright, well in that case, we really need to make sure we're getting some of these awkward mold lines, because they face out. How annoying! GW, why do you do this to me? You bitch. I'm like completely covering myself. Yeah, exactly. I want to get the mega one for the stand as well. I'm bummed that I saw in that recent video that I watched on the news talking about it, where it says that the stand is a limited time thing. I was really hoping that was going to be like a, anytime you buy this, you get one of these things. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense, but at the same time, I don't know. Color me disappointed. Which does make me think I should probably just pre-order the damn thing to make sure I get it. I don't know how long it's going to be available like that, you know? Okay, I think we've got this thing actually cleaned up enough, so now we'll put a little bit of... That's definitely way too much. Put a little bit of glue on his belt. Take this here. And stick it on. And then we're just gonna hope this sticks. We're just gonna hope. Hello, Chris. Welcome. Nice. How are your Space Wolves going? Are you in the painting process or are you in the building phase for them? Wow, you haven't stuck at all. What a bitch. Try faster. That's how you coax them, right? You whisper to them softly to dry faster. Oh my god, I'm not giving you enough of a connection point. What is happening? What is happening? Oh, it's just not wanting to glue. It's not wanting to glue, it's fine. Like nothing's going wrong. I just don't think I had enough glue. Alright, maybe that'll work. Well, immediately already sticking better. Good. Okay, do you want it to be a bit more in line with his belt? Thank you. Dry, 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 dry. Okay. That was my drawing song. I hope you liked it. Alright, I actually think that's pretty good. We'll let him stand off to the side with his shield. Ready for priming. Alright, that's 2 down. I mean, really 1 down. I already had the first guy done. Listen, I'm a slow builder, and nothing you can say will stop me from going the same exact pace. It's an assembly day. Got it, Chris. Ooh, nice. Yeah, now that I have a 3D printer, I am definitely interested in printing, like, a bunch of shoulders for whatever faction of Space Marines. Like, honestly, you know, I hadn't really thought about it until just now. Literally just now, because of your guys' conversation. But I actually think Space Marines could be way more appealing to me to build and paint now. Because I have a 3D printer, which means that I can actually print cool shoulders and appropriate helmets. And, like, hell, even give them, like, accessories and stuff that just are more thematic and grander than what I feel like I sometimes get from Games Workshop's own kits. Especially when it comes to the Primaris. Like, I feel like sometimes the Primaris are just... like, they're cool, don't get me wrong. I'm not, like, knocking them. But sometimes they just feel underdressed in a certain way for, like, their chapters. Even more so than, like, the old Space Marines, which were still not always specific to a chapter. You know, they still made them relatively generic or ultramarine. But even then, I felt like they were still more thematic to... when they did themed ones, they just felt better. So that would be cool. Oh, I could print up a Night Lord's army. I could have all of the bat wings. Hello, Stanley's Toy Channel. Welcome. M. Smith, my experience with paints is there's going to be a use for whatever brand of paint that you're getting. Whether it's super cheap and kind of shitty, you can use it on terrain as base coating to do, like, that kind of stuff. If you end up getting a brand that maybe you don't like as much, but it's still useful to you, you can, again, use it for, like, bigger projects or, like, cheaper things that you don't care about as much. Like, there's always ways for you to use the paints, and provided you keep them sealed properly, your investment isn't really going to be lost unless they just actually dry out, which is going to be, like, again, unless you just poorly seal them or reclose them or something, if you try them out and are like, oh, I don't like this or whatever, you're probably going to be able to reuse them. And push come to shove, if you really didn't like them, like, say you pre-ordered it, You got it. You used like a couple of colors to do a couple of different models to give it a shot, and you were like, man, I just fucking hate these paints. They don't work for me at all the way that I was hoping they would, etc. And you just really didn't want to keep them. You could absolutely resell them, like through Facebook Market. You could probably eBay them. Hell, you could probably like, and if you didn't want to bother with the hassle of reselling them, then honestly, donate them to a school who maybe has a hobby club, or take them to your local game store if they have a painting community. Donate them to the painters. Trust me, they'll take it. Like, so there's definitely ways for you to not have to feel completely lost out if you pre-order it. Like, obviously the donating it or those kinds of things, like giving it away, is the least, I guess, beneficial to you on a financial way to deal with it, but at least it would, like, I don't know, I would still feel good knowing that, hey, I essentially basically bought this like $50 thing to donate to a club, you know, and help some kids get into the hobby or something like that. Like, I would try to look at it that way instead of looking at it as a complete loss. But that's just my thought. I do like the Angry Marines, actually. I think they're fun. Oh my god, I could print a bunch of Angry Marines. Brother! Right, they do sometimes seem bland. That's why I'm glad I have the printer now, because if I want to, I can make some non-bland Marines. I mean, even my normal boys, like, I'm excited to potentially, like, change out all of the shoulder pads on, like, my Crimson Fists. Like, I could redo my Crimson Fist army and make it, like, as cool as I wish I could have made it back then, with, like, all kitted out shoulders and, like, proper, like, oh, it could be cool. And I do even have, like, and I still have, like, the really badass, like, Pedro in metal and a couple, like, Lysander in metal. So it'd be cool to still, like, have some of those in there, but I could even print new ones. I bet somebody's made, like, a cool 3D printed Pedro Contour. Contour? Good evening, or good afternoon, Chipster. Also, Stainsby, welcome. The build is coming along great. So I've it's kind of slow because I'm too chatty and I'm easily distracted, but oh no, bunny. Okay, he moved. I'll need to re-glue that. But basically I've put him together, minus the shield arm because I want to keep it off to make things painting it easier. And then I've got two of them put together, minus their shields, although I just knocked my bunny loose. So hold on, I need to re-glue the bunny. I thought I knocked it completely off, but I did not. Alright, bunny. Where's your connection point? Where should I glue you? Okay. Hopefully that'll stay this time. Oh, nope, I just knocked him completely off. I should have known that. I reactivated it all. Bunny, please. Bunny! Do you think that's what the blade, like, screams out to the bunny? When he's, like, teasing her? Because that's what I would do. Like, if I was married to the bunny, like Allie, as the blade, I would definitely call her by her rustling name sometimes. I think it would be funny. Yay, well, I'm glad, Chipster. Nice! Keith, how did you enjoy your first game of the old world with your dwarves? Please stay this time, bunny. Be a good bunny and just hang out. Okay, I see another place where I can connect the bunny. I think if I just lay him down and we don't touch him for like 20 minutes, We'll be fine. Seal the glue so it's not smelly in here. That's your shield. Don't lose it, sir. Don't lose your shield, mister. Daniel, are you talking about Hero Forge? Because I know they do that. They allow you to edit they produce basically customizable D&D miniatures, essentially, or RPG miniatures. It doesn't have to be specifically D&D, because they do have like sci-fi and a couple other themes as well in their catalog. But Hero Forge's stuff is pretty cool. You know, speaking of which, actually, I need to look. I don't know if do they sell just the STLs? Like, can you just buy the STL of the character that you design there, or do you have to get it printed by them? Because that's not something I've looked into. Because I've bought from Hero Forge in the past. I grabbed a couple of custom D&D characters, lo and behold, for a couple of my games. So, for example, when I was in my Curse of Strahd campaign, I got a printed up version of my character that I painted up. Chaos Cultist did the same thing. Unfortunately, I don't think we have those miniatures anymore. I think one of them broke. And or both of them may have broke. Because of the way we had them stored, unfortunately, and then we didn't use them for a really long time. They got stuck in the game store, and I think they got heated up, I think, and kind of like melted a little or something, or snapped because of the fragility of that. Of going from like hot to cold too quick or something when they were in storage. But yeah, I don't remember specifically what happened to them. A bit of sprue, you know, next to that beautiful little nub of his outfit. Always lovely. I think that looks better. Let me just bring it up to my face a smidge so I can actually see it. Sometimes when I'm doing stuff over here for you guys, I'm like, how do I see this? You can do either on Hero Forge? Okay, awesome. I kind of thought I had remembered at one point, like, when 3D printing was not, like, super new, but also wasn't as big as it is now. I feel like I remember them getting in on that game, but I couldn't remember specifically, so thank you for clarifying. Yeah, I was on there recently, actually, because I'm in a current D&D game, and I was thinking about getting a custom printed mini for that too. We're just not meeting as often, so I'm a little nervous to like buy a mini and just find out that the game is gonna end up getting canceled or something. Hopefully it doesn't, but I'm a little worried about that. But I was browsing and seeing that their options had gotten a lot more, honestly, diverse and expressive, which was really cool. Oh, that's gonna be really cool, Ryu Arts. I can't wait to see it. Alright, let's clean up this guy's helmet so we can actually get it attached to his head. Or to his body, rather, I guess. This is his head. I want to attach his head to his body. Go. That mold line removed. There really are some gnarly mold lines, aren't they? Oh, an orc version of me would be so cool. I have no sculpting ability. Beyond, like, I can do like mold line filling in or like gap filling pretty well, and I can do some minor sculpting. It's not that I have zero 3D capabilities or anything like that. However, I would not trust myself immediately to design a model based off me, because I've had people ask a little bit for a variety of different ones. They're like, oh, we need to make a demonette version of you. We should have like an orc version of me would be really cool. A hive queen version would be really cool. Space marine version, of course, sister of battle version would be like, is also a really popular one. Like that and the demonette are the two most popular. And I would love to do that, but I don't have that. I don't have that time right now to learn that skill yet. I'm still just trying to figure out the 3D printer and like honing that in. And I don't have the skill. So if someone else does, cool. I'm sure there's probably like easier ways to do it, but I haven't figured that out yet. Oh, I really hope that they do look cool. I'm excited. These guys are gonna be. It's gonna be interesting because I actually do want to treat it a little bit like. So my peasants, I went with very basic color tones because they're peasants. The men at arms, I'm gonna try to like bring in a little bit more blues and a little bit maybe more reds, but still not go into our purples. And then the knights are really gonna start wearing, you see, like the purples and those color tones, because they're gonna actually be like royalty or at least lords who could afford those palettes. Because I want to do, I like, even though this is fantasy, one of the things, and I think this is a thing that Games Workshop sometimes like misses, okay? And maybe this is just me, but I feel like this is what I see out of the community, okay? As a whole, you guys can tell me if I'm wrong. But I really feel like people want humans in armor, possibly fighting monsters, but also just fighting other humans in armor in a rank and file game that feels historical but is fantasy. Like, they want the potential of the magic and the creatures, but they still want that grounded, this still feels almost historical. You know what I mean? Like, in the fact that we have just dudes in armor with polearms, or bows, or swords, or whatever. You know, I feel like that is just a desire people have of wanting that mix of almost historical but not, but having that opportunity to still make them feel kind of historical. Because I do want these guys to feel that way. Like, I want them to feel like, no, these are meant to be peasants. These are meant to be like your class above peasants, and then here are your like class above that, etc. Ooh, a black metallic paint chipster. That sounds awesome. I mean, Daniel, that would be cool. That would be very, very cool. If you do, definitely let me see it, because I'm very interested. I need to see if, like, the artists that are, say, like, on my mini factory or whatever ever do commissions, and they can, like, do a custom sculpt or something, because that'd be a cool collaboration to do with somebody. All right, I think he looks pretty decent. Let's get his other things. Is head finished cleaning up? No, of course not. I did that part ways and then started talking about my feelings about people wanting dudes in just armor running around with their little pokey weapons. And or their guns. I mean, that's why people like Imperial Guards so much, you know? They just want their pseudo-historical World War I guys. It's partially why I feel like Age of Sigmar sometimes doesn't always appeal to as many people as maybe they thought it would. Because Age of Sigmar doesn't do that. Like, it's not just dudes in armor. They're all so main character. They all just suffer main character syndrome. And I'm like, I don't want every single guy in my army to be a fucking main character. I want one or two dudes to be the main character and everybody else to be like, you know, secondary characters and or tertiary and or background characters because they're the goddamn peasants. It's my one complaint. Like, as much as I love, for example, all of the new Cities of Sigmar models that I know are coming out very soon, my one issue with them is that their basic troops are so elaborate with their decor. Like, not even the things that they have on them. Like, I don't mind that they have little bags with birds or something in them. Like, that's fine. That works. I get it. They need a snack. But, like, some of their armor, it just ends up being more filigreed than I think it should be for what a peasant should have. Or, like, somebody who is, like, supposed to be lower class than your knights, which you have made super elaborate. And that's fine. They're knights. They should be. They can stand out and be gaudy and, like, obnoxious and in your face because of the fucking knights. But, like, I don't want my little pikemen to be standing out that much. Which is why I think this is a really good balance, because there's still a lot going on. You're still seeing a lot of details. There's a lot of interest in variety in their clothing, and they still have accessories, but they're all accessories that it's like, no, that is something that a lower class citizen of this community would have. They'd have a basic knife and maybe a rabbit to eat. They might have a knife and a basic rat to eat, because that's all they caught out in the field, because it's supposed to be kind of traumatic. It is war, after all. And war never changes, as we all know. Excellent, Chipster. I look forward to it. Keith, when you paint your dwarves, do you, what are you planning on, what color scheme are you going? So my experience with dwarves is relatively limited in the old world. The most I actually have with them in experience is, Total War Warhammer 2, and I've played the... What's the base, like, dwarf faction in Total War Warhammer 2 named? So it's with, like, a K? I'm not sure Chaos Cultist is actually nearby. I thought he was. I thought he was in the other room, but I don't know if he's there. I think it starts with a K, but, like, that's the only, like, faction I really know of. They have, it's a blue is their coloring. I think it's like blue and gold. They actually look kind of ultramarine-esque, but I don't think, they're definitely not, because they're dwarves. And I don't remember what they're called. But that's my only experience with dwarves. So, like, what are your color scheme? Are you doing, how many grudges do you have? There was, like, a weird, like, mold line on this guy's outfit. I needed to remove it. Ooh, muted greens and reds. That sounds awesome. I do love both of those colors quite a bit. I use them significantly a lot, especially green. Good lord, do I use green. Probably too much, honestly. I think every army I've painted, with the exception of my first army, it's really a surprise I didn't do Salamanders or Dark Angels when I was getting started. Because good lord, do I love green. I'm just realizing, like, all my factions, so, like, Death Guard, green. Orcs, greenskins. My Tyranids have a lot of green on them. I, in fact, even planned originally to not use green on my Tyranids, and then ultimately said fuck it and ended up going with a green anyways, because I can't help myself. So it is really funny that I never played, like, Dark Angels or Salamanders, apparently. Would have been another good green Space Marine faction. Totally. I completely get that, Chipster. But yeah, people just, I think they want dudes in armor with those kinds of weapons. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm projecting. I think the truck is leaving. They haven't been banging recently. But I do think I heard it just drive away. Maybe they're taking a lunch. Stabby knife. Stabby, 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 stabby knife. Alright. Cleaned up though. Looks good. These bloody fingers have the mold line over them. I did get both sides of the arm. Good. Get off there, get off. Okay, I think I got it. Let's just brush away our excess. Apparently I did not get that mold line at all. Okay, well, fair enough. What are the dwarves that are the, like, starting one in Total War Warhammer? The blue ones? No, but what is, like, what is the clan? It's, like, K? Karzak? Okay, never mind. That sounds familiar. The Karzan? Yeah, that might be it. You're running an army of mostly warriors and longbeards. Nice. That's cool. I do like the Dwarven war machines. They have some really cool ones. You know also who also had some like really cool just big models? The Lizardmen. Like, I always thought they had some cool looking stuff. Alright, that went in really well. I'm just gonna hold that in place. Greens were reserved for the Grail Knights? Is that who you mean? I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I saw, like, literally the box art on, say, like, the trebuchet for the Bretonnians has them wearing a lot of greens. Even has them wearing some blues. But I mean, maybe it is. I don't know. Or you mean, like, historically, it would be a lot of greens for maybe the knights. Why did I put that over there? Because I'm dumb. I'm still working on that. Alright, let's get his head in place. He's a yelling. To arms, men! I feel like I need to clean up your face a little bit. Do you have a little buck tooth? How adorable. He has a little buck tooth. All right. His shield is gonna go there. You also don't have a thing to attach your bird to. Well, fine, sir. That's fine. That is fine. I will make it work. Like Tim Gunn says. Wow, I haven't thought about that. What was that fiction show called? Runway? No. What was that? What was, you guys wouldn't know. I mean, maybe you do know. Maybe I'm judging too harshly and you all actually, in fact, watched Bravo and watched that one fashion show reality TV thing with Tim Gunn and Heidi Klum. Was that her name? The Victoria's Secret angel. Runway? I feel like Runway was in the name. I don't remember though. Project Runway. That's what it was. You definitely have watched Project Runway. Definitely, right? Oh yeah, no, I don't think the Green Knight exists anymore within the game, unfortunately. I do have a model that I printed off for him. That I'm going to just... Well, okay, sorry. I did not print it off. Let me clarify. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I was gifted a model that Chaos Cultist printed using our 3D printer of a Green Knight, so that I could use him in my army. And then we found out actually that I don't think the Green Knight exists canonically right now, because again, time period. However, I'm going to use the model anyways and just use it as like a lord, because I think that's going to be cool. And it's a really awesome looking model. It's from Lost Kingdoms Miniatures, I believe is what it's called. They're on My Mini Factory, but they also have their own website. And I actually think that might be where I'm going to get the model that I'm going to be using for the reward for everybody who helped me purchase my 3D printer. I found a cool bust, or not bust, but like a cool Slanesh demonette looking thing that I think will be neat to print and then paint. All right. I think the bird is looking pretty clean. Let's go ahead and hop over here, get a little bit of glue on there, maybe a little bit of glue on the flat side of this, just to give ourselves a couple more connection points, you know what I mean? Oh, and I throw it onto the table. And bam. Hell yeah. You bind to his butt, bird. You bind there. I'm just gonna hold it in place, let it really stick in there. No problem, Chipster. We'll see you when you get back. Alright, I think it's stuck on. We're gonna just move him. How is your rabbit looking, buddy? Actually attached to his back. Hell yeah. Alright, cool. So he's good. He's looking good. His shield looks fine and clean. Numero quattro. And then we can start clipping out some more. Hello, Henry. Welcome to the stream. Oh, excuse me. Let's stretch it. Oh. I'm going to go grab the model that I'm using for my Green Knight, as well as get myself some water. Thank God that was empty. And then I'll be right back. And we'll keep building our little man. Which he should actually be faster because he's already got his head attached. So it should be fine. Alright, guys, I'll be right back. I have returned. I have water. And I have my very fancy knight. Alright, so let's show you this guy. He is not fully assembled because I want to make painting him easier. But this is the knight that I have to represent my green knight. And he actually, his horse will end up being on here. So he's sort of up in a nay sort of position. I think it looks really cool. I did have to green stuff a little bit, his cloak to his back, because I just wasn't getting a good connection point. Mostly because I accidentally think that when I was building him or cleaning him up a little bit, I think I may have accidentally snipped off like the tiny little ends that connect his cloak in, and so therefore I didn't have as strong of a connection point. So I just green stuffed it, added the texture back in of the leaves, and I think it works pretty darn well. I love the horse. Like, the knight looks amazing too, but like the horse's cloak just is so cool. I am mildly terrified to paint it, but I think I'm just gonna do a lot of wet blending with greens is gonna be like ends up what happening. But yeah, so that is the green knight that I have. And he is so much more elaborate than these beautiful peasants, as he should be, as he is a glorious spirit of the forest. Yeah, green is, I think, that is canonically, like, true, even in, like, Arthurian legend and stuff, is, like, green is not, like, green is more of a peasant color, because, again, it's a cheaper dye. It's easier to make, you can, like, and it doesn't cost as much money, whereas, like, purples and reds, for example, and blues are a lot more expensive dyes. And that's just historically accurate. That's why you see also, like, a lot of peasants wearing, like, yellows and browns, too. Because, like, ochre is really common and very easy to get your hands on. Which is why you still do see some reds and some oranges, because there are some ochres that, like, lean into those. And I mean, like, ochre is in, like, not the yellow goldenrod color, but, like, the rock ochre. Right? It's a pretty cool model. So that's the one. So the Green Knight that's the one that I got from Lost Kingdoms Miniatures. That is the company or the creator who makes it. That looks good. Let's clean up his weapon.
How's the setup been?
Been good.
No lag issues or anything?
I have a little bit of, like, stuttering with this one, actually. This one's been fine. Like, for example, just a moment ago when I was moving my hand in front of this, it, like, freaked out a little. So this one's been lagging a smidge, but not too bad.
Yeah, that Kira's been weird.
But this has been fine. So I don't know, like, what's going on there.
We need to get you a new laptop.
Yep. That's really what it comes
Well, we need to do that anyway, because it's one of those things of, like, I could try, buying new cameras and such for this old one.
Uh-huh.
At the risk that it is just the laptop.
I do think it's just assuming.
And we know that you need a new laptop. Your current laptop is what, like 5+ years old?
Yeah, it is. So,
yeah, so we'll deal with that soon.
Yep.
And that will help with that.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree. But yeah, other than that, it's been going well. Bruzy, welcome. Not a whole lot up. Just working on some Bretonnians. We've been working on probably this guy and then wrapping things up. Been chatting a lot. Doing a lot of chatting today. Oh no! You have super glue all over your fingers. That is one of the reasons I personally, if you're at least working with plastic miniatures, that's why I like this stuff. this unfocused bottle of plastic glue. All right, let me get the focus. The Tamiya extra thin cement. This stuff works great on plastic miniatures. Now you can't use it on resin or metal miniatures, unfortunately, but if it is plastic stuff, it works great because it doesn't stick to your fingers, and it's got a nice brush tip applicator, which is really my main selling point on it. That thing is glorious and just gives you so much more control, which means you're just getting it on your fingers less anyways, but even if you did get it on your fingers, it's not going to seal your fingers together because it's not designed to be that kind of adhesive. This is meant to only work on plastic, and it binds it really nice. Really, really nice. I don't know why I had to roll my R there, but I felt like it was necessary. Sometimes you just gotta roll your R's.
Hey, how you doing?
Spoilers!
How you doing, folks?
Spoilers!
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna reduce down viewership.
Yeah, you're
cutting into the viewership. Now you're gonna watch the video tomorrow because you can already see me.
Oh, did you just
That's right.
Don't shove it way into my ear!
I'll shove whatever I want into whatever orifice I feel like it for the hive mind.
That's fair. That's fair. Stop putting it in my ear!
Hold on. Hey.
No.
Give me your face. Give me your face.
Thank you. I was gonna say, if you break his tongue on my face, I will be so pissed. That might be what I print in tomorrow's video. You've seen the future. Granted to you by Zinch. No, because Zinch interfered and allowed them to see the future.
Yeah, but I like the idea. This is the hive mind's voice.
Oh, yes, that is the Hive Mind's voice. That is definitely Hive Fleet Maleficent's voice. Oh my god, that's their mirror. They go to their mirror on their hive, in their big, what are the ships called? I guess it's their fleets. They go to their mirror in their fleets, and they're like, mirror, mirror on the wall, and that's the voice that comes out.
They're just hive ships.
Okay, they're hive ships then. Alright, there we go. That's looking good. I've cleaned up the bag in his life. I'm very singy today. I'm really sorry for that, because I do not have a singing voice. Oh, Alex, I have checked that to see if there have been any updates, and no, I've been keeping it pretty up to date. It's an older computer. It's like 5 years old or so, and getting a new one probably is for the best for just how much I kind of abuse them. I use them a lot because of content. So it's really just comes down to that. Oh, Havman, thank you so much for the $4.99. I appreciate you, sir. Always happy to answer questions and chat with you guys. All right, I think we've got all these pieces cleaned up. Let's just go ahead and actually make sure that our mold line is gone on this pole arm, because I feel like half the time I remove them and then I'm like, huh, it's still there. How did that happen? How in the world did that happen? But it actually looks like I may have succeeded in removing them this time. Cool. Get a little drink of some water. All right. Sir, there's your arm. I see him. I'll just let it sit, and then I'll clean it up afterwards. Why do I keep doing this to myself? No, I keep that is not a problem. No, I just keep accidentally missing the underside mold lines on their arms. Don't touch it yet, Angela. It just set. It just set.
I respect you for removing the mold lines on peasants.
These are men-at-arms. They're higher tiered than peasants.
Yeah, but they're still peasants.
They're
peasants with a hardened exoskeleton. We're watching too many insect videos.
That's fair. I mean, that's true. I don't know. I actually really like these guys. They have a dumb amount of detail, but it's all very basic, and it's like, I mean, I was talking about this with chat earlier.
You should see the Empire.
Well, that's what
We got Empire infantry upstairs unbuilt, and if you think these guys are cool, you'll love the Empire. Guys.
Oh no, I'm sure that I would. And one of my disappointments with the modern Empire guys is like I feel like they went a little too elaborate with some of their filigree.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not that they can't be detailed or have a lot going on their armor and everything, but like it needs to be basic feeling. And I just feel I don't know the patterns on these guys' doublets and like just I don't know what the full jacket thingamadoodle that they're wearing is referred to as, but like that whole piece I really like.
Yeah, I don't want to guess at what that is because I don't know. Like
I know one of the I know like the shirt like I think like
it's
this
not a cuirass.
so
a cuirass is only your chest,
right? And I know
a hauberk?
Possibly, and I know like what this guy's wearing here is a doublet. Because I know it's like, it's the shorter one. And I don't know if the longer versions are also called doublets or not. Maybe somebody in chat can tell me.
Okay. No, I don't think it's a hauberk, because I think a hauberk is chainmail.
Ah, okay, yeah, no, that probably wouldn't be the same thing. Then,
Although, are they wearing... They might be just wearing a tunic over a hauberk, though.
That's true, they may. Oh, maybe it's just a tunic. Because tunics can be long, right?
They normally are, yes.
Okay, then yeah, maybe it's just it's a winter like
Honestly,
tunic.
I think they're wearing a tunic over a hauberk, because all that would be is chainmail, which in fantasy would be light armor.
Okay.
Which is, I believe, what they're wearing.
That makes sense.
That was also one of those words
Uh-huh.
where I was like, is that a real word?
Or is this a fake word?
Yes, because for years of my life, I thought a portcullis was a porticulus. And there's no such thing as a porticulus.
That's fair. That's
But
yeah.
it sounds really fun.
It does. It actually really does.
But yeah, it's portcullis. I don't know where I got porticulus from. But
Phonetics, maybe?
maybe, I don't know. But then hauberk is another one of those, like not fantasy, but like historic, Middle English words.
Yeah, yeah. I actually, I think for like when I was a kid, I didn't realize that a halberd was an actual thing. Like a real world thing. I think I thought it was like a fantasy.
Oh. Okay, you thought a halberd was a fantasy. Do you mean just...
The word. Like I thought,
Okay,
yeah.
But like if I asked you to draw a halberd, would you have drawn me a weapon that you thought only existed in fantasy, or would you not have been able to draw me the weapon?
I think I wouldn't have been able to draw it
Okay.
for you because I don't think I knew what a halberd was.
Because I guess I was
like I think I had
did you think a long axe on a hand, like an axe on the end of a long stick?
No, I just
was a
don't think I
fantasy
knew.
weapon?
I just don't think I knew. Like I think I had read the word in like. What is that? Robert Jordan. Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I think I had read the word in Wheel of Time, but didn't have a picture of it. So I was like, "What's a halberd?" And like, so I didn't for like, I don't know. Like, I think I went like 2 years or something of reading that series because I like binged it during a move one time because it was cross
Dude, I
country.
remember the first time I read Lord of the Rings, I didn't know what half the words were.
Yeah, and so I was just reading it. It was like I thought it was just like a fantasy made up thing. Maybe it's a surcoat. That's what somebody in chat's saying is it might be a surcoat. Like surcoat. Almost like surname. Is that like an overcoat?
Yeah, that looks right.
Okay. Then yes, Chipster.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Surcoat. Perfect. Thank you. Alright, we need to let his arm set because I finished my cleanup and then had to move him.
So sorry.
That's fine. I've done that on every single one of them. I've attached their armor and then went, fuck, I can see him multiplying. I like how that one dude was the only guy with a place to actually physically attach these. And it was the most cumbersome little thing. It was like the worst.
Welcome to Warhammer Fantasy.
Oh, thank you. It's like the 5th time today.
You keep complaining about how bad the old
No, I'm not. No,
yes.
No,
welcome.
it's just very funny to me that on this one guy they gave me they made a little like offshoot to theoretically make it easier to attach all these little accessories that they're giving them, and no one else has had it. I'm gonna give this guy his on his left. No, I'm not. I'm gonna put it on his right. We're just gonna ignore that glue we put there. Because it's gonna get in the way of his spear.
Yeah, like, forgive me because I know. Oh, I'll wait till you finish.
Yeah, hold on one moment. Oh, how. I see, we're gonna have to put it. Okay, well, you know what? That first glob of glue is gonna work in my favor. Maybe. Okay, we're just gonna set you there and we'll set you down. Yes.
Oh, what I wanted to show you was the old, and I think we have some upstairs, of the Warhammer Empire militia.
Ooh.
Who are below the state troops.
Ah, man, they do have like some really cool elaborate clothing for being really basic troops. They look kind of like pirates.
Yeah, that's because they're drawn up from Dwarf and some of the coastal cities.
Oh, well, it's also because they all have tricorner, or like half of them have tricorner caps, and I just
that has nothing to do with piracy. Tricorner caps were
I know
of a Parisian fashion trend that started in the mid 18th century and then continued until the beginning of the 19th century.
I know. I'm aware.
It was just a popular way of pinning up a round blank hat.
I know. The reason I'm laughing so much is because he has explained this to me so many times because he used to work at Colonial Williamsburg and people were like, I want a pirate hat. He's like, it's not a pirate hat.
Because they are not buying a pirate hat.
I know.
They're buying a
tricorner hat. Are you having flashbacks?
No, man.
He's having flashbacks.
I was standing behind a hat counter once, ladies and gentlemen, wearing a hat. Wearing a Colonial Williamsburg hat. With a stack of easily 100 plus felt hats, each one retailing for at minimum $45 in front of me. Young lady walks up to me, and by young lady I mean probably in her middle age, but I don't remember at this bloody point. She walks up to me, picks up one of the hats, and goes, "Sir, what is this?" And I look her dead in the eye, and I say, $45, ma'am. And she goes, "Okay, thank you, but what is it?" And I stop, and I look at her. And I take the hat from her. And then I gently place it upon her head, saying, "Ma'am, it is a hat. Like the one I doth wear right now before you." She did not buy a hat.
Yeah, probably because you might have embarrassed her.
She deserved it. She asked a man wearing a hat behind a hat counter in a hat store what a hat was.
That is pretty fucking funny.
I mean,
we've all had really stupid airheaded moments, okay? Like, sometimes you just walk into a store and you're like, "Hello, what do you sell here?" And they're like, they look around and they're like, "Well, we sell cards, man."
My favorite story is the time that somebody walked up with a high explosive device and told our staff that they had found it. They thought it was one of ours.
What?
Yeah.
Like, a bomb?
Yeah.
Somebody found a bomb.
It was a grenade, actually.
Someone found a grenade at Colonial Williamsburg and was like, "Yes, clearly during the colonial era, grenades were a thing."
So, fun fact, they were. But not a frag.
But, like, not a grenade. Like, you're talking about, like, a World War, like, 1 or 2 kind of grenade?
We were actually talking about Korean, but...
Okay, you're talking about a Korean-era grenade. Yes, I'm gonna look at
clarify what happened. A woman came up to one of the militia staff.
Uh-huh.
We're the military folk.
Yes, where you blew out one of your eardrums firing cannons.
I can still hear out of it, thank you. But yes, so the militia had a point in the history where they were working at a faux military camp outside, and that's where they were doing drills, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
Well, what's important to know about Colonial Williamsburg, if you've never been there, is a lot of the paths and such are not paved.
Yep.
They
It's a
are-
lot of dirt roads, like with like
Allow
loose
me to finish,
Oh, sorry,
please.
yes.
Yes. Instead, for the paths to help with erosion, what they do is they lay out a large amount of seashell that's been dredged up from the local. It's near the Chesapeake Bay.
I was gonna say from the Chesapeake.
Yeah, from the Chesapeake Bay. They're the people who like dredge the ocean for sand and
Is
such.
that why it's white on the path sometimes?
Yeah.
It's because of all the shells?
Yeah, what they do is they dump the shells out, and when they first start, it's mostly full of shells, like little shells like this big.
Yeah.
And over 2 or 3 years, they get crushed into white powder.
Yeah, I thought it was actually just fine like white like pebbles for
Maybe in some areas, but no. At this point in time and in this area, seashells are being used.
Okay.
I think they're also good for the ground. They don't cause any pollution.
Well, they probably add some like nutrients back into the ground and
Exactly,
stuff.
right.
Yeah. Of
And
course.
it's time period accurate because I think they did actually do that at some point.
Okay, cool.
To a
I
certain
did not know
degree.
that.
However, the problem, as I already mentioned, is that these seashells came from the dredged up Chesapeake Bay.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened, especially back during deployment of certain wars in the 20th century, the Chesapeake Bay sent a lot of troops overseas.
Mm-hmm.
And for one reason or another, bits of kit every now and then fall into the ocean.
Yeah, of course.
And what had happened was, this is why you were going, why would they think it was close? It was rusty. It was old. Because it had been dredged up from the ocean and had survived the mulching process.
Got it.
And had to be delivered and just happened to be dumped with like the recent load of shells onto the sidewalk until someone found it.
Oops.
The good news is the employee, the member of the militia who was working, was actually a former Army sergeant at arms. So actually handing munitions is something he had full training in. So,
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
I was about to ask. I was like, so did the employee like?
He dealt with it.
Okay, good.
Well, the way he dealt with it is what he did was he calmly thanked her, took it from her, isolated it like behind some trees in an area where no one
Would be,
and called the local like police.
Yeah, I was gonna say
it was
fire.
dealt with by the bomb squad. It never like went off or anything.
Right, of course. That's crazy though. Like I did not know that somebody had found like a Korea era grenade.
It's one of those like favorites.
Yeah, no, I imagine so. I mean, at least the woman was smart enough to like take it to the militia folk instead of just taking it to a retail
It was
store.
like a rusty old thing, so I think they may have thought it was like a relic, like a relic one.
Yeah.
But a historic one.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I get it because it's rusted, but like,
you also have, it's one of those things like it probably wasn't going to go off. The pin was in it, but old explosives get weird.
right. But also like colonial era though. Like I don't think those kinds of grenade shapes were like because you said that they had grenades, but like I assume it's more in the sense of like
It was more like a can.
Yeah, I was like, I imagine it's more of like okay.
And they were really more popularized during like the next war.
That makes sense. I'm more imagining.
Next war, I meant the Civil War.
Yeah. I knew what war you meant.
Next. The war 1912. I'm completely skipping that.
Oh, you're right.
You're so mad.
Oh my gosh, you're right. I'm sorry, Canadian fans. But yeah, definitely like I'm imagining a black powder style thing where it's like in a black ball, a la like a pirate bomb or something that has like a little fuse and they just chuck it. That's what I was imagining.
So yeah, there's some like.
Okay, so that is exactly okay.
Yeah, they did have some like ball grenades back then.
Nice. That's exactly what I was imagining because I was like sitting there going like, well, the only like the earliest like grenade style that I can think of seeing would be the kind that like privateers would have been using because I feel like that's partially where those like may have come from or something. I don't really know, but like I don't know.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's where the term grenadiers comes from.
Oh, that does make sense actually. Yeah, I hadn't even thought about that. Yeah. Oh, right. Of course.
British Grenadiers.
Yeah. I forgot. I honestly, I completely, again, another term that I think I saw in JRPGs and didn't think was real until later. Grenadier. Because I didn't realize that, like, you know, my era of, like, history is weirdly chopped up, and I have, like, a weird gap in more modern.
Gap, it feels like it's about 3,000 years.
No, it totally is. So, okay, what happened was when I went to Virginia, like, I moved to Virginia, and I had started at a high school that also had a middle school, and so I was in the transitional period, and what they did in this school was they split world history up with they did it as a combo class with world literature so that you could get both eras of history and literature simultaneously to make it a little bit more cohesive, and, like, I don't know, you can kind of just get through all of the boring shit first and then move on to the more interesting stuff and get all the interesting stuff all at once and just have it make a little bit more sense, which was really cool, and I actually really enjoyed it. But sadly, I didn't stay at this school the entire time. I only got half of the world history class. So I got the first part of world history, which went from, like, you know, the beginning of time to basically we cut off, the class ended, the year ended just before the Renaissance. So the Renaissance and forward in world history, outside of what I kind of got in my US history classes later, specifically from a US perspective, I never received formal, like, educational, like, classes on the Renaissance forward in time. So if you ever find that you're, like, listening to me and you're like, wow, she has weird gaps in, like, knowledge of things, that's partially why. And then I also was a loser and never, like, looked up into it myself. You know, I never, like, did a huge amount of research on, like, certain things just because, one, some just no encouragement, and others, is it being weird?
Yeah.
Okay. And then also just, like, being lazy. All right. We have glued everything for these four boys. Look at us. We've made some actual progress in our gentlemen, in our men-at-arms, who we've talked a lot about today. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I do think I'm going to go ahead and call today's stream, as I've got a lot of other things that I've got to get done today, including going to a model meeting later this evening. I'm sure you guys will probably see me posting about that on social media later. But yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it. And oh yes, I have your story about the hospital question, or that airheaded moment. Very, very lovely. We all have airheaded moments like that. Totally not just a you thing. Absolutely. See, I wish I could, like, I did get some medieval European history. It's just, like, when we got into the Renaissance, that's where it stopped. But I enjoyed that. It was really cool. I think that's why I actually really like the Bretonnians and the empires, because it reminds me of the history that I did actually learn about a little bit, and it's reminiscent of that. But we're gonna go ahead and end it today. I have a little bit of cleaning to do. I have that meeting to go to later, and I need to get stuff prepped for tomorrow's video going out. So, and tomorrow we will be streaming. Should be normal times, 1 o'clock. I will either be working some more on my Bretonnians or possibly doing something else. I haven't fully decided yet, but you guys will find out tomorrow. Anything else? I don't think so. Hold on. Let me find out when DunderCon is going to be, because there's not going to be streams that weekend. And I think it's coming up. Next week?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So next week, we will have a stream on Tuesday. That will be normal. But there may not be, and I haven't, like, it really depends on, like, how the cons go and how long we're there. But don't expect...
You could try streaming from the con.
I'll think about it.
Like, not a long one, but maybe, like, half an hour.
Yeah, maybe we'll see about doing that. Like, so what I'm going to say right now is, at the moment, do not anticipate there being a stream this coming Friday or Saturday, because I have a couple of things that I'm doing both with friends as well as going to the convention, and I may not be available for streaming, and or I may just be too socially exhausted for doing that. However, if we do end up doing anything, if there are any streams those days, I will of course try to make an announcement ahead of time to let you guys know, or you'll just see go live. Make sure that you're subscribed and you've hit the bell icon for notifications so that you don't miss it in case I don't make an announcement. That's my one little plug of that. But yeah, so that is the updated, the plan. And then one last thing before we leave. I must show you this squig that I've slowly been sculpting. I've been doing a lot of stuff with green stuff recently, and as I've had extra bits, I've been adding to this little lump of green stuff that I had. So recently I added him a little face, and I gave him a little mohawk. And I think this is where I'm actually going to stop, because somebody said that he looked like a really cute, like, squig football for Blood Bowl, and I think I'm just going to let him be the ball for my orc army, because I do have an orc, Blood Bowl team, so I think that's going to be the case. Anyways, make sure that tomorrow you come and see how I printed this boy up. And thank you. So yeah, come and watch the video.
We're adults.
All about my new 3D printer and how excited I am for it. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow for that. And goodbye. I will see you later. Bye.